reports truth, let it blow. Shout it loud, every show truth in the news they can't control. They can't silence what we say. We're the voice of the USA. Stand your ground, make them pay. Ace Report leads the way. Leads the war, leads the way. Leads the way. Clouds of lies hanging low. Ace the way. Leads the way. And here we go.
No, everybody knows the number one destination for the world's capital, more than 50% of it is invested in the United States of America. 49% of all consumption is in the U.S. 26.1% of world GDP is the United States. It is still the number one economy. And if you're given the opportunity to invest in China or the United States, it's a no-brainer. Every dollar goes to the U.S. And so while the U.S. has the upper hand, and let's remember something, there's a time bomb here. For Trump, it's the midterm elections. But Xi's got a time bomb too. He's got millions of workers in factories. Right now, those products are sitting on ships, floating in the ocean because nobody's going to buy them because they don't have a big enough economy to consume them. Only the U.S. can do that. So we've got a little bit of a game here, a little game of chicken, because Xi only gets to stay in power if people have jobs and they can feed their families. He gets a vote every day. If those factory workers have no jobs, they're going to be like a Frankenstein with torches up at the castle. It's going to be brutal, and he knows that. So let's have this dance. Let's go now. Let's settle this now. 400% tomorrow morning to absolutely lock down zero trade until we solve this.
Whew. Kevin O'Leary laying the smackdown. What is going on, guys? I've missed you. How's it going tonight? Oh, man. I missed last night. I apologize, but my back was out. It's killing me. So about 75, 80% better. So I appreciate the prayers. I appreciate you guys thinking about me. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Tonight on the Ace Report, guys, we are going to go over something I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I think it's time because the news has been kind of all over the place. I want to talk tonight about the war Trump's actually fighting, why things are so crazy. And we're going to cover today's news and all that as well. But we're going to start breaking that down because these are not moves that a politician would make. These are not moves an economist would make. Trump is all over the board. Why? Because it goes so much deeper than almost anybody dares to dream, because it's part of unbending the reality we've all learned to accept, that we were all raised in, that we were all fed, spoon-fed by the media, by tradition, by all that. And it's just like in The Matrix when he sees the spoon. He's like, don't try to bend the spoon. Simply realize the spoon isn't there. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. The mind-altering reality of what's actually really going on. Because once you understand it, once you see it, you can't unsee it because it's massive. And it is, it's important. It's important we all recognize this, because what's going on is so much more, such a bigger deal than just how our economy is doing. But first, I got to catch up with you guys real quick and say hey to some peeps, because it's been too long. I took off 3 days in a row, which is very rare for me, but I needed it. Wago Waco, numero uno tonight. Hobbs, what's up? Cass Sing, Zach Butterfeld. By the way, if you're on Rumble, I can see most of your comments. If you're on X watching, I can't see your comments. I'm sorry. So you can jump on the YouTube channel if you want. It's in my profile on X, or you can just watch and enjoy, and I'll catch up with your comments later. Anyways, let's say hey to more people in here. Dave R., what's up? Donna M., Steve Bernard, US1, R. Will Country, Rondi Lochtefeld, Joe Scarpazia, Billy Cooper, Kimberly P., Toe Cramp, Pedro Rod, Husker, Cooper's Butters, BN Pro Hero, Darren Collins, Pedro Rod, Agent Orch, Scott Volkovich, Vince Felice with one eye open, Brian T, Just Mike, BN Pro, Richie Rich, Chad Yunkin, Shogun. Impression of Mike Tyson. No, I'm good. He hit me so hard in the eye, but I was the heavyweight champion of the world. I can't really do Mike. Patrice Smith, what is up? Danny Gigal, how are you tonight? Brett Montgomery says, welcome in. Make sure to like and subscribe. That's my mod doing the hard work for me tonight. Thank you, Brett, for that. Damn it, Sean, what's up? All right, I think I got everybody. Uncle Andy, Kim Wiley, Armand. Everybody will dares chat, that is. Randy Atwell, Gary Douche, Hero at Large with the 10 memberships to start it off. Thank you, Hero. I appreciate it. What a welcome back. Greatly appreciate it, my friend. Armand says, nothing. He's talking to somebody else. Danny Gigal and Armand and Shogun, you are in. Welcome to the membership, guys. Jump on the Discord, please. And yeah, get members live on Wednesdays. So that's what you get when you join. Little bonus for that $3 a month you pay. Giving up that 7-Eleven coffee. I know it's tough, but sometimes you got to do it. What's up, Moody? And we have a new person in the house. What's up, Ancient Path Trader? Welcome. Anybody else watching the show that is new, please know I am very engaged with the audience here. We love this community. Sometimes we do call-ins, whatever, but always trying to catch up on the chat in between my rants. So that's what makes us different here at the Ace Report. Learning from the chat, talking it up. So, alrighty. What's up, Robert Hicks? Brett says, if it's considered a terrorist organization, shouldn't the DNC be in the same position? Love to deport Schumer, Booker, Pelosi, Crockett. Well, it would be nice, wouldn't it? It's a little tougher. All right. I want to read a couple interesting posts I've seen. Back's doing about 80% better. Thank you, Big B. Thank you so much. All right. Let's get into this tonight. All right. First post I'm going to read tonight, and then we will get through the news, but I want to set up my story tonight, what I want to talk about. Here we go. Why is the military really being deployed to the border? I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's really long, but it is good. Border crossers reportedly down nearly 90%. Why is the U.S. military suddenly being deployed there in large force? Because this is no longer about immigration. You guys know the military has been being deployed partly because I think we're going to be launching at the cartels soon, but also for what he's talking about here. It's about locking down internal threats before a perfect storm of external warfare and domestic chaos erupts. Contingency protocol, preemptive shield. Let's pull back the curtain. What's he talking about? It is believed from a lot of insider talk that the deep state is not happy right now. They are planning to try to erupt chaos in the U.S. to chase Trump out, to ruin his presidency early. Is it going to work? No, it doesn't work. People are too much on side. In fact, even the Harris-Harvard poll just came out today. Trump is 2 points in the positive in his approval. That should not be happening after everything that's happened the last few weeks. Signalgate, tariffs, all that. They have gone full on onslaught to destroy him, and yet his approval remains positive. Why? The people are waking up. It's a beautiful thing. So, what's really going on? Trump is ahead of the game. He's ahead of the game. Says deep state isn't just allied with China and Iran. The long infiltrate and weaponize Israeli government now serves as one of its most strategically valuable chess pieces. Together, this triad. Now, this is where I disagree with him. And we're going to talk about this. The real baddies, guys. China and Iran are just part of the puzzle. China especially. The real baddies are who's funding this all, who's been the empire from the beginning, at least regarding us. And that's the bankers, the financiers, the big guys out in City of London and in the Eurozone. That's where it really comes from. Those are the people who created Israel and use Israel as a proxy, which is why I always tell you guys, you never go full crazy Israel. You never go full crazy anti-Israel. You never go full crazy Israel can do no wrong. You always come back to the middle. because most of the people of Israel are good people, but their government is often used for the true deep state. And that's why I'm sorry that all the people out there saying Trump's controlled by Israel, he proves it over and over again when he has Bibi over here. The last 2 times he's had Bibi over, he has shocked Bibi with major announcements right in front of him. You don't do that if you're controlled. First of all, when he declared we could control Gaza, you could see Bibi, what? And this last time, he did it again when talking about Iran. He is defanging Israel little by little. Israel is not the main enemy. Israel is just used by the main enemy. CCP bribes and compromises American politicians, Iranian intelligence. So he's going into all this, and I agree with all of it for the most part. Multiple fronts. The point, though, is there's a reason the military is being dispersed, and it's not just to control the border, which is already controlled. That is a very important fact to consider. And if you want to read the rest of this, it's Alpha Warrior. He posts great stuff. Great deep thinker, really puts stuff together. I really enjoy his stuff, and go check it out. But this is where we're going to talk about who's really ruling us. Now, this is Michael Ray Corey, does excellent work. And we're going to touch a little bit on this thread of his right now. Why? Because this is important right now. It's important because of what the tariffs are doing. Do you understand that when Trump did Liberation Day, why would you call tariffs, reciprocal tariffs being shot across the bow of the entire world? Why would you call that Liberation Day? It's interesting, isn't it? And a lot of people could try to be like, oh, well, he's just, financially liberating us, blah, blah, blah. Sure, that's a part of it. Why is it such an important part of it? Because today, guys, the odds of the U.S. getting in a full-on kinetic war with somebody like Russia, somebody like China, who could kind of give us a challenge, who could match up with us a little bit, is almost 0%. Why? Because of nuclears. They don't want nukes on their land just like we don't want it on ours. It's a no-win scenario. It's mad, mutually assured destruction. We're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. At least not unless they were able to degrade us from within, which they cannot do. So what are our wars today? Our wars are financial. That's where we're at. It's a world economic system that they have drug us into, and we've had plenty of politicians willing to keep selling us out. Why? Because integrate with them so they can collapse the U.S. and they can take over the way they want to. The globalists can take over. That's what they want. So what did Trump do? Liberation Day. What happened? Why a week later postpone it? Except for on China. And guess what? The EU and one other person refused to cave. Canada. Isn't that interesting? Canada, our little baby brother upstairs. But they're part of the Commonwealth still. They're deeply tied to the EU, especially UK, being in the Commonwealth, and to China. Those are the three that refuse. Trump dropped a nuclear financial bomb on April 2nd, and he used it to expose who the enemies are. He cleared the deck. He wanted to see every single person who is going to stand up to us, and 3 countries did. Those 3 are currently our greatest enemies financially, and they are who will take down. Canada, not so much in a big way, but they're teaming up with the UK. They're teaming up with the EU. And then, of course, China, which we already knew. Who was cheering us on, by the way? This is interesting. Which country cheered us on that you wouldn't have expected? Russia. Russia said, oh, we like this. Why? Because Putin, no great dude, no hero of mine, but he's not a globalist. He is pro-Russia, and he hates the EU. He hates the UK more than anybody. Because for years, before the Soviet Union and after the Soviet Union, Russia has been being taken advantage of by Europe for hundreds of years, and the US since we've been in existence, at least in the modern age. Clinton tried to take over Russia through installing the robber barons. All the bankers went in there. They were gonna rape and pillage all of Russia's uh, natural resources. We were going to take it over. That has been the dream of Europe and the globalists forever, to take over Russia. The Soviet Union rose up, horrible stuff. They did, whatever. No excuses there. But this has long been a problem for Russia. And now Putin just mostly wants to be left alone. But they won't let him. They won't let him. They're funding this Ukraine war, keeping it going on in perpetuity, because they want Russia to fall. They want Russia to fall so they can get in there. And that's what the Democrats want, because the Democrats are all part of this. They're completely controlled, and so were most Republicans until Trump came along. But let's go through this a little bit just so you guys can get a little more understanding. The cabal royals still rule us. Now, let me say this before I read this. I don't agree with 100% of everything in here, but the point is the main overall storyline is true, which is our enemy is still the people in the shadows in these places. That this is old money. This is old power. Goes back a long ways. They never wanted to lose the U.S. They've hated us since we came into our own. They've never been able to get over the fact they lost us. And so they've been slowly trying to get us back in ever since. Bloodline House Wedden, aka House Coburg and Saxe-Gotha, is a supremely powerful Germanic medieval bloodline dating back to 900 AD. All the monarchs of Europe are either directly descended or directly related to this bloodline. Powerful cabal of royals has throughout history ruled the thrones of many European countries, including Portugal, Bulgaria, Poland, Germany, Russia, and Liechtenstein. Again, I don't know if 100% of this is true, but I've been able to verify a lot of it. Now, the point is, this goes back forever. This goes back to the beginning of time. The beginning, if you go back to the Bible, it was like when you really research this stuff, and we've talked about this on other lives, I'm not going to go into it tonight. They are truly a cabal who worships all this crazy stuff. They sacrifice children. They do crazy stuff. It is insane. And this is who Trump's at war with. And I don't want us to lose sight. I mostly cover the news on here. Day by day, we go through it. I filter it through, all that. That's what I mostly do. But today, with all the craziness going on, I felt it was time to focus again and remember what Trump's doing. This is so much bigger than just beating the Democrats. This is so much bigger than just getting the U.S. back to normal time, back to the 90s, back to the last time we remember things are good. It's so much bigger than that. We are defeating and fighting something that's embedded so insanely deep. And we, America, is trying through Trump and through his team to get fully independent for the first time in a very long time. They started getting back into us since the Civil War, when we started borrowing a crap ton of money again, and they started to get their hands back into us again. So we had a blip of time, 75 years or so, where we were actually free. But then the Civil War happened. We started going deep into debt again. And slowly but surely, America started getting sold out more. So everything's happening for a reason. This goes on and on. The royals, the bloodline. It's not just a monarchy. They're real monarchs. The CIA, or Central Military Intel Agencies, keep things secret forever, pick the prime minister, never be prosecuted, sign bills into law, fire the entire government. They have all their ways of doing stuff. British Empire never ended. I mean, this is a great thread. Here's countries the monarchy still controls. You got Canada, got some islands here, a lot of Africa, India, Australia, 56 nations, 2 billion, 25% of the world's land. They're all related, all legally untouchable. King of Belgium, King of Netherlands, King of Spain, Queen of Denmark, King of Norway, King of Sweden, all related to King Charles. How crazy is that? He goes into World War I. He goes through the whole thing. So anyways, it's important to know this stuff. Okay, it just is. And I know you, some of you guys are probably like, "Ah, you're crazy," and that's okay. Please think I'm crazy. I'm cool with it. I really am. I was what you'd call a normie. I followed politics. I was a Bush Republican. I thought it was just about Republicans and Democrats and moving forth our nation, and that we were totally fine as a nation. We just had to figure some things out. I believe that most of my life. And then Obama came and stuff got weird. And then Trump came and I finally started to understand stuff. Am I muted? Okay. Sorry. Hobbs wrote that I was muted, but so guys, I wanted to set us back to this. And there's an amazing podcast done on this recently. And I shared it in a few places, a Discord, all that. And I highly recommend you watch it or listen to it. It breaks it down in so much more detail what Trump's doing right now with the trade war. And it's so good that it's banned on YouTube. You can only watch on Rumble. So I will share that in a post tonight so you guys can watch it. But I wanted to set us back to what's really going on here, how big this is. After Trump's done, I believe one of the reasons it's going to be called the Golden Age is because we're going to be finally free for the first time in so long. He's going to figure out our debt issues. Not that it'll be all paid off right away, but it'll be in a way that we're in control again. He's going to figure this out. We're going to cut off China. We're going to cut off any control the EU still has, or I should say UK. It really goes to the UK. But sound is bold, dynamic, and Chris. Thank you, Davar. But this is what's really going on. And I want you guys to get ready for a lot of craziness, I think, in the next few months. And my hope and prayer and belief even is that Trump's ahead of it, so it's going to tamp a lot of it down. But I think they're going to try some false flags this summer to try to get the riots going again, to get the chaos going again. I think and I believe that the markets, they are fighting back Trump by tanking stuff faster. When he was doing the tariffs, I don't think that was all just a sell-off because of tariffs. I think they were also doing it on purpose, tanking the markets on purpose to try and control him. You put anything on the table that you didn't once think was possible, it's pretty much possible. But just like I played the other week, Trump says we have weapons they don't even know of. Guys, things are going to work out. I really believe that if we don't stop telling the truth, we don't stop doing what we can in our communities and, with our vote, whatever we can do, whatever it is you feel like you can do, that's what we got to do. We got to join up with that. And this is a big move. This is something unheard of that is going to be talked about in history. But if you don't believe it, it's a war. I mean, look what they're doing. They're killing 100,000 people a year in our country from fentanyl. 100,000 a year. That's being shipped into our borders from China. And you guys know the biggest lab of fentanyl in the world they just recently found is in Canada. It's coming into us from all places. They are trying to kill us. Look at this in Los Angeles. This is walking down the streets of Los Angeles, the homeless. This is what fentanyl does to our people. It's like The Walking Dead. These people. How sad is a baby stroller? This isn't on accident. This isn't on accident. This is on purpose. They're trying to kill our population. $100,000 people dying a year of fentanyl in our country. That's more than every year in World War II. This is what's coming across our border. This is some of these people don't even know they're taking fentanyl. They're taking meth, they're doing cocaine. It's laced with fentanyl, even pot. I'm telling my kids, man, you can't take drugs ever. Don't even experiment. Not even pot anymore. It's not safe. Nothing is safe. Nothing is safe. The videos in San Francisco are even more horrific. They're trying to kill us. They're weakening us from every angle. Kill the people, kill our financial system because they couldn't beat us militarily. So they're eating us out from the inside. And this is why I don't give two rips if we go through a little financial pain here in the next couple months, next couple years. I don't care. Because if we win this, it doesn't matter. If we win this, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. This is horrific. These are people. And, my brother was a drug addict. He died not from fentanyl, but he did hard stuff, heroin, and he was not meth. It was mostly heroin and pot. But he started on pot, got really into heroin, messed him up real bad, got off it. But his body, after about 6 to 8 years of doing heroin, his body was so destroyed that when he was 30 years old, he walked like he was 85 with a limp, the old man gimp. That was my brother. And he was the sweetest guy when he was sober. And he had really bad asthma. And so he continued to smoke pot afterwards. He was in California. Nobody, told him he couldn't. This is even before it was legal, but they didn't enforce it. He was growing pot, smoking pot. He thought that was sober. That's how bad into drugs he got. He thought that being a pothead was sober. I didn't even care at that point. And then on my birthday, 10 years ago, literally I'm driving with my wife, going out on my birthday, and we get the call that night he passed away because he woke up, couldn't breathe, had an asthma attack, and his body was too weak to fight it. And by the time the paramedics got there, he was dead. Drugs took my brother. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. I had addiction in my family. It was horrible. When he was on, it was horrible. The stuff he'd do to my family. I get it. And it's easy to look down on him, but they're still people. My brother was a sweet kid. He was a great guy, but he got hooked and it ruined his life. And now fentanyl is doing that. Fentanyl is like taking something, it amplifies it, and it takes somebody who might have to take a lot of drugs to get hooked, and it gets them hooked like that. And then it also can kill you on the first time. It's so strong. It's insane. It's insane. Brett says there's a study out on fentanyl from different parts of the country, and they're finding it's not really fentanyl, it's meloxicam. I'll find the report interesting. Yeah, that's even worse, but that's crazy. Ancient Path Trader says, all I know is folks will walk down the streets here, start screaming at nobody. Yeah, exactly. Rum Dog, he says the video is proof of California's rehab program doesn't work. Millions of money gone. Yeah, not just millions, $28 billion that Newsom asked his state people for. They raised it for him. They paid their taxes or however he raised it. $28 billion, and none of it's accounted for. None of it's accounted for. Not a dollar. Not a dollar went to the homeless. It's crazy. Benjamin Pugh said, drugs took my brother too and my dad. Yeah, and listen, drugs have always been a problem. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not some, teetotaler here. I like a good drink every once in a while. But when drugs get into your family and take somebody, there's no interest in it. And my kids know that, thank God. But think how scary this is. Because I grew up in a time where a lot of my friends would experiment and it was whatever, they'd experiment and then they were off. They never got addicted. They weren't like that. They didn't experiment with heroin or anything crazy or meth. But, I had a couple friends that did cocaine a couple times. And then I had a lot of friends smoking pot. And it was like, whatever. I was like, not for me, but I didn't look down on it. It was relatively safe unless you were stupid. But now you can't do anything. You can't do anything. They just completely, but they knew it. They knew America had a habitual drug use problem, and they laced it, and they had taken us out 100,000 a year. At the same point, and this is a lot of young people are taken out at the same time when the COVID vaccine is out, and we're having people not able to have children. And that's for a variety of reasons, but we all know what one of those reasons is. Our birthing rate is the lowest it's been in American history. This is insane, guys. It's insane. And this is how they're trying to kill us. If the Trump miracle that we got him back, we got him the first time was an absolute miracle. The fact that we got him back might be the greatest miracle in American history, except for two other things. And that is the Revolutionary War, Washington fighting that war and winning an unwinnable war against the greatest empire the world had ever seen, and B, Lincoln freeing the slaves and breaking slavery, the bondage of slavery. That's it. And now I think the miracle number 3 is going to be Trump. I really do. I think just for our country. Some people might throw World War II in there, but I consider that more of a world event. But for saving our country, I think those are the 3 biggest events in our country's history. And we're in the middle of it. And so for all of us growing up and reading history and all that, and how amazing it was, and just thinking like, whoa, what a time to be alive, what amazing things we could have seen. No, that's now. That's now. We're living in that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ancient Past says pot's stronger than what it used to be too. Is it? I mean, I don't follow enough, but I believe you. Brett, don't you remember how bad Calaveras County was for meth? Oh yeah, Calaveras was terrible. Drug dealers everywhere. Yeah, it was bad. I grew up when it was really ramping up. That's Rumdog says that's Newsom's vision for America if he were. I'll tell you right now, it's every single Democrat who is a politician. It's their vision. Because every single one of them is bought and paid for. Every single one. And the Republican Party, most of the politicians are bought and paid for in the Republican Party. But the good news is most of the politicians in the Republican Party don't have power right now. Most of them are being replaced or have been replaced already by real, true Americans and under the MAGA bill. So this is where we're at, folks. And it's glum and it's crazy, but it's hard reality. But at the same time, there's so much hope. And tonight, I'm not here not to take away hope. I'm here to say how much hope there is. And here's a great example of it. This man is about to be the next governor of Florida. And if this doesn't tell you change is on its way, I don't know what will.
For those who've studied American history, especially constitutional history, you know that Woodrow Wilson's design was to turn the federal government, which at the time was quite frankly mechanical in nature, into an amoeba that would grow and amass power and like, frankly, bring directives to the people, regardless of elections.
You hear that? This man, Byron Donalds, who is about to be the governor of Florida after DeSantis, just watch, he will be. He's out there calling it like it is, telling us what's really happened with Woodrow Wilson and the Fed. This is massive. It used to be only Ron Paul was talking about this, or only Perot, guys who had no chance of being president, guys who had no chance of getting power, guys with no movement behind them, because as smart as they were, and I think they're both brilliant men, as principled as they were, they had no leadership capabilities. They were just not able to build coalitions. They had no charisma. Throw it a little bit. But now we took over the party. And our party, although it's not fully libertarian like those guys, it's got the libertarian element that's the most important. And that is the cry for financial liberty. And listen, Donald's here.
And regardless of the will of the people. I would love to repeal 16. And so if you're going to repeal the 16th Amendment, we have to start flipping other states to be more like Florida. People need to understand that their right to their own incomes, is fundamental before you get to anything else. I think there's a way we could get that done. We need more citizens to realize that actually retaining their own wealth matters more than anything else.
We have Trump with Lutnick saying end the Fed and income tax. We have the next governor of Florida, and we have JD Vance, I know, is all on board with it. We have the opportunity, I think, in the next 4 to 10 years to actually see the 16th Amendment repealed, income tax abolished, the Fed abolished, and that is the beginning of the end of financial slavery in this system. It's amazing, guys. It's a truly incredible time to live. It really is. And we're winning. And that's the main point. It's like, as crazy as things are, what all Trump is doing, it's working. It's working because it's waking people up. And even though it's driving the elitists mad, the Wall Street mad with the tariffs and all his, just like, they say he doesn't know what he's doing. They say he doesn't know what he's doing. And yet it all keeps somehow working out. It all somehow works out. It's the darndest thing how that happens. Here right now, with all the deals going on and the inability to end the Russia-Ukraine war, and then we get Zelensky saying this
нам
today.
не вистачає сил деокупувати все. І це зрозуміла ситуація на сьогодні. І тому дипломатична ця війна.
Therefore, this war will end diplomatically. He's already thrown in the towel. He's saying we can't do it. It's over. Trump's working. It's working. The madness works. It's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing. And you want even more proof of what I'm talking about? Listen to Scott Bessent talk about this three-pronged economic approach to unleashing us.
Just finally, I want to get your thoughts on something you told me, John, and Lisa in February, which was that in your old world, you would be that person with your ear against the door trying to understand what policymakers were doing so then you could predict where financial markets would go. In this moment where we hear from top executives constantly, today it was the Goldman Sachs CEO, last week it was Jamie Dimon, and this uncertainty, especially around tariff policy, what advice would you be giving to your old self?
To look at the whole policy, because, again, not you, but others in the media can pick one factor. So right now it's tariff, but we have, you mentioned we have tax coming up. We have deregulation. So, it's a the leg stool. And I would try to think about, what's happening. The tariff sequencing was always going to be first. The tax bill's going very well. And I think I've been pleasantly surprised at how quickly that's moving along. And then deregulation from our area on the financial side and in the rest of the economy, that takes a little longer, but that will start kicking in September, October, in the fall, and those are going to be very powerful.
Tariffs, tax cuts, deregulation. It's all removing the power from us. Tariffs remove foreign power over us. Tax cuts remove central government power over us, and deregulation removes bureaucratic power over us. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's all about freeing the American people, and we are just. It's amazing. It's amazing to see all this happening today. And then it keeps going real quick here. Randy Lockfeld says, get us out of NATO. I agree with that completely. US One Tyler says, Senate and House need to stop taking vacations, roll up their sleeves, get down to work. They are the tortoise and Trump is the hare. Let's go. I agree with you, except for one thing. The tortoise won that race. Johnny Strayhorn says a repeal of the 16th is a far bigger mark in history than is being written and passed. Oh my gosh, it'd be huge. It would be absolutely huge. What's up, MM? No word from Atkins yet, but it's only his first week. Here's Bam talking more. If you want to know the financial stuff, there are so many people who see it. And Bam, who I've had on the show and trying to get back on when he's not so busy, is one of the smartest. And he says, this exact group of 6 satanic, power-hungry people that were responsible for murdering citizens on 9/11 are the ones who took down AMC and thousands of other publicly traded companies None of us should rest till they're prosecuted and executed. We owe that to the people they killed. He's saying, and he's right, the same people who did the crazy stuff like 9/11 are the same people ruining our financial system right now. It's not different. It's all together. So when people ask me, why isn't Trump doing anything about naked short selling? Why isn't Trump fixing the markets? I get it. I get it. But he is. He's just doing it in a roundabout way. It's piece by piece. You can't do it all at once. It's piece by piece. You know why you can't do it all at once? Because he doesn't want the American people to be killed in the process. And I mean symbolically killed. He doesn't want our economy to be absolutely destroyed as he's taking down everything else. It's piece by piece. Trump, there's a story about Trump with the 2020 election. And he said, what are the outcomes of pursuing this when talking about the fraud? And they told him, well, basically, here's the deal. Where you're at right now, if we fix this and we still got you in, there'd be a civil war because they are not going to accept it. And they're going to fight and go to violence. And they'd seen the plans and everything. And people like Jamie Raskin had talked about the plans. They'd alluded to it before, the violence that was going to come. And Trump knew it was better to wait. And he decided to stop pressing it, to step down on January 20th, 2021, let Biden come in. He decided to do that and come back stronger 4 years later because he wanted to avoid death and destruction and do it a better way, a slower way, but a better way. And that's what Trump's all about. He loves the American people. He loves the American people. And what made Bam talk about this today? Well, on Tucker today, we got bombshells from his interview with this guy and Kurt Weldon. And I got a clip of it I wanted to play. I can't play the whole thing because they will get mad at me, and it's really long. But it seems like I lost the clip. Oh well. Sometimes, my friends, sometimes that happens. I'm sorry. But basically, you guys got to listen to this. It's awesome. It's all about what really happened on 9/11. And, Trump's going to be releasing the 9/11 files eventually, too. That's part of the war as well. It's exposure. You got to expose them. You got to expose them to keep waking the people up. But this interview today is just insane. It's insane what this guy has to say. So I highly recommend it. Somebody wrote about this in the chat. Who was it? Said, where was it? Think people realizing jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams was pretty important too. That's what I was talking about. So that's what this is all about. We're waking up. So much is happening. Brett Montgomery writes, Bam is spot on. And these were the douchebags who were shorting United Airlines when the towers were coming down. Absolutely no moral compass. 100%. They are evil people. And I don't say that lightly. I don't think most people who do bad things are necessarily evil. I think most people who do bad things are broken. But there are people who they completely choose evil. They go all in. They decide that we don't care about others. We're going to do whatever it takes to move ourselves forward. And the difference between them and a broken person who does bad things is they know exactly what they're doing. A broken person like my brother had something that made him choose drugs. I don't know what it was. He was really young when he started. He was like 15. Too young to make good decisions, got hooked. And after that, he was not himself the rest of his life, except for glimpses. And I know my brother was not a bad person. He was just a person who did bad things because he was broken and controlled by the drugs and just stupid. Honestly, I love my brother, but he made so many stupid decisions. But he wasn't a bad person in his heart. I know that. But there are people who are. And these people who do these things are bad people. They don't care. They know exactly what they're doing and they don't care. They look down on all of us. They really do. And they lie to us about everything. Johnny Strayhorn says, Brett, some of those same players did it again in Butler too. Butler. Oh, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Absolutely. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, Brett, for reminding me to shout it out. You're a good mod, my friend. Rumdog says, listen to Jesse Kelly. All the violence is coming from the left. It'll get worse because they won't go away without fight. They won't. But here's the deal. They're not as strong as they were in 2020. They won't be able to get. So in 2020, they timed it. They got all the angst from COVID. They got all the people who are super upset and were ready to just get out and let that anger out. And then they used George Floyd to perpetrate that and started the BLM thing. But that was a massive psyop. And now most people realize that. Most people realize that. So you're going to get two things that are going to happen differently this time. Number one is that not as many people will join. So it's going to be smaller factions than it was last time. And number two, you're going to get a lot of other people who are a lot quicker to tear them down. Because last time in 2020, there were so many people who weren't part of the riots, but they also weren't willing to speak up because they were afraid. They were afraid, what if I'm wrong? And what if racism really is worse than I think? What if, because they weren't educated, but now they've had 4 years of learning, 4 years to look back and reflect and say, what the F was that? I'm done. Not again on my watch. That's what's different. And also, this time, Trump has a team that's working with him. Pam Bondi is not Bill Barr. Pam Bondi will shut stuff down. Kash Patel will shut stuff down. This is different. It's different this time. So they're going to try it, but it's going to be different. Thank you, Mark R. I appreciate that. Brett says, frickin' burn dog in the oligarchy sermons. I'm changing it to retard Garcia. I love it. Hero says, all ace holes, smash the like. Thank you so much. Brett Montgomery says, Drew mentioned it's about that rally. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I was actually going to share it tonight. I chose not to, but maybe I still will. All right. Speaking of being lied to about everything, this is another clip from Tucker that I did keep. And I want you guys this is crazy. This is a crazy clip, what he says here.
How come one of Saturn's moons, according to scientists, has more oil and natural gas than Earth?
How do Saturn's moons have more oil and natural gas than Earth? When we're told that oil is like the remains of the dinosaurs or something weird like that. Isn't that a crazy thought?
There are dinosaurs and planktons and forests at one point on one of Saturn's moons? Probably not. So if all hydrocarbons aren't from fossils, where are they from?
The information that is found on the largest moon on Saturn, which is called Titan,
Yes.
is actually results from NASA, European Space Agency,
Yes.
and then the Italian Space Agency, who built this spacecraft called Cassini and Huygens. Actually, one of my thesis advisor committee is actually built the UV spectrometer, but the one that they used to discover this, basically the ocean liquid form of methane. Titan is in such a way that it's very cold, by the way, so it's minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes.
Hint, hint, hint. Where's the global warming there, right? If it's full of methane there, right? That's another problem because it's far away from the sun.
How come?
So crazy. So crazy. All the stuff we're taught. You guys know that I heard this once, and I think I subscribe to this theory. I have no way of proving it, but it makes sense to me. And it's that Earth was cooling and our fossil fuels, quote unquote, natural gas, oil, and all that, it actually, it is a renewable resource, as Roger's putting in there, which is true. We have enough to power us for thousands of years. So that's one of the lies they tell us. But the other thing is, and this is very interesting, this person believed that God had a plan for all that to be released to warm the globe, because otherwise we'd get too cold. And so actually our use of fossil fuels, part of it letting all that carbon into the air, is actually a good thing. And if you think about it, there's some stuff that actually backs that up. We have more plant life on planet Earth today than ever before. That's just a fact. More trees than ever before. It's easier to grow crops than ever before. Why? Because all that carbon was released. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing how that works. And they want to lie to us. Why? But it's not because they want to help us. It's not because they want to save the world. It's because they want to kill our population, because cooler environment means less food. It means less food. and it's hard to find shelter because it gets so cold and people will die, and that's what they want. Remember, the Georgia Guidestones told us everything when they were blown up a few years ago, but they had their whole plan on there. And one of the things on that plan was to get the population of Earth down to 500 million people. That was considered, and still is by the globalists, the ideal amount of people. 500 million. And with 500 million people, excuse me, they'd have a kleptocracy, and the rest of us would be slaves. They could feed us all. They'd have abundant resources. Every single one of them would live like kings. And if you look at it, everything they do is to make us weaker and sicker. Everything. And to wipe us off. I mean, between our birth rate declining, why do you think they introduce ideas like family is controlling the women, family is bad, and they brainwash all these people to not do it? They don't want you to have babies. Why do they push abortion so much when instead of it being, safe and rare, like Bill Clinton said, no, it's instead they are like, it's cool to have an abortion. How is it cool to kill a child? I don't understand that. There's some areas where I could understand a woman feeling desperate, like she really needs one, or her life, facing a life. I can understand her feeling in those moments, not wanting to have an abortion, but feeling like she doesn't have a choice. I can understand that. Even though I still don't agree with it, I could understand it. I can't understand people who brag about it, but that's how far we've gone. It's a culture of death. I don't understand lionizing people in the UK who are choosing to kill themselves when they're 28 years old and just sad, and yet they're choosing to choose assisted suicide to kill themselves. How is that a cool thing? How is any of this cool? Why does our food make us so weak? Why is big pharma make us so weak? Everything. It's all designed to ruin us. It's all designed to kill the population. But again, we're winning. Here's Tom Homan with just an awesome little quick report on what's going on at the border.
I think, you want to make this, if anybody here in Watertown, you Democrat Party want to make this a political fight, well, here's a political fight. We did in 3 weeks what Biden didn't do in 4 years. Right now, as you and I are talking right now, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation, and the data proves it. And when you secure that southern border at the record we have right now, down 95%, how many Americans aren't dying from fentanyl coming across an open border that Biden had? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked across that open border? Now we got a border secured. How many known suspected terrorists or people on watch list are not coming across that border because it's secure? How many billions of dollars are the cartels not making because that border is secure? President Trump's policies, this administration is saving lives every day. The men and women Border Patrol save thousands of lives every year. This administration is doing the right thing for the American people, securing the border, removing the worst first criminal aliens, and looking for 300,000 missing children that the last administration released to unvetted sponsors. We're going to save those children too. So you can make this political attack all you want. I'm proud of the work of this administration. I'm proud of the work that the folks that work for me are doing.
There you go. The most secure border in our history. It's happening right now under President Trump, and he just laid out all the things that means. It doesn't just mean illegals aren't coming here. It means less sex trafficking by far, less human trafficking, less fentanyl, everything. I mean, he plays the hits. It's amazing. It's amazing. Why do they want that border open? I mean, it's pretty obvious. You just reverse that and you can see. You can see. Brett, what are you talking about? Send Gavin to space. I love it, man. You crack me up. Adam M asks, after Canada's election, Poe party is going to ask the blue states to join Canada. It's going to get good. The blue states to join Canada? Yeah, I don't. We'll see. I don't think that's going to work out the way you think. That's funny though. PC party, not Poe party. I read that wrong. More good news. Check this out. This is proof his tariffs are working. Howard Lutnick says this is the plan. Today, NVIDIA announced for the first time NVIDIA's AI supercomputers will be built entirely in the US. This is the most valuable company in the world based on their stock. The most valuable company in the world is now making their supercomputers entirely in the US, working with leading manufacturing partners to design build factories. Production start for NVIDIA Blackwell chips at TSMC's chip plants in Arizona. Amazing. And they said, no, it's going to take forever to get production back here. No, it's going to take forever to get those things up. Oh my God, this is just terrible. This is terrible. Nope. Within 2 weeks, it has been a week and 6 days since Liberation Day. And NVIDIA is already like, boom, we're coming home. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is a huge news. And guess who didn't cover it? It was all over X, but the media is not covering this because they don't want to. This is just too big. The biggest company in the world right now has decided to go all in on the US. That's winning, my friends. That's big time winning. Here we go. Panama Canal. U.S. secures landmark Panama Canal deal, effectively checking China's growth influence in the region. Agreement marks historic shift in Western Hemisphere. We got the Panama Canal back, folks. It's not 100% yet, but we're on the way. Now he goes into the history of it. Panama Canal. Trump got it. Went down there, broker deals, boom. It's working. It's all coming together. It's amazing. It's amazing how it's working. I saw about Ham's nephew. I texted him today to tell him sorry. For those who don't know, Ham's nephew died of an overdose yesterday or the day before. So prayers to him and his family, because that's terrible. But yeah, thanks for putting that back in the chat. You guys want to see how much China's robbing us? It is now a trend on TikTok for them to go through American companies and see how cheap they can make them in China. This is a crazy trend going on. Here's one of the videos.
Want to know who's the Chinese factory behind Nike, Adidas, Fila, and UGG? Number one, the biggest factory for Nike shoes in China is called FJF Group. They're located in China, Fujian. FJF is also China's biggest shoe factory. Second, the factory behind Adidas shoes is Baocheng Group in China. Baocheng Group has factories in China and in Southeast Asia. Number three, the factory behind UGG in China is called Henglong Group in Henan. Henglong Group is also the biggest factory of UGG shoes in the entire world. And number four, the factory behind Fila Group in China is called Shentai Group, and they're located in Zhejiang, China. Comment and let me know what other products I should do next, and follow.
It's all made in China, man. Think about it. How much those Nike shoes are probably $5. That's probably how much they actually cost Nike to make them. And we're supposed to feel bad that there's 145% tariff on those shoes to make them cost Nike. What is that now? $13 to make, and they still sell them to you and I for $175, $250. Are you kidding me? It's insane. It's insane. And we're supposed to feel bad about this? I don't think so. It's crazy. This is how we've been stealing, been being stolen from so much. It's the craziest thing. Some of these videos get wild. I highly recommend doing the deep dive on them. It's worth the see. Brett Montgomery says, with the Panama Canal, it makes sense with the Chinese tariffs going on. It completely slows down that traffic. It's a chess move. 100%. It's all a chess move. That's the thing. Trump is playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers or shoots and ladders. The media is playing shoots and ladders. The Democrats are playing, I don't know, tic-tac-toe. It's so stupid. But I saw a thing today. It was like they asked Democratic voters should they be more moderate or go progressive, and they all went. They voted for the Democratic Party to go more progressive, which basically means they're never win another election. It's crazy. LeBron is totally owned by China. Oh yeah, Hero nails it. He absolutely is. All right, let's catch up on the financial conditions before we get out of here because I'm running long tonight. That's all right. U.S. financial conditions, now they're tightest since 2020. even tighter than 2022. Conditions tightened rapidly as stocks pulled back. Credit spreads have risen. To put it differently, the availability and cost of financing for economic activity has worsened. Suggests the economy may slow even further in the coming months. Will the Fed intervene? You get to see it dropping off. In other words, they're not lending right now. Last time this happened was in 2022 when the stock market had a horrible year. Horrible year. Adam, you're hilarious, man. But I love that you love your country. Johnny says, I built an indoor horse arena and the dirt or footing was about 8 foot deep of shredded up Nike shoes. No way. Are you serious? Roger needs prayers for his dad. Okay, man. Cancer. All right. We'll definitely pray for that. Brett, thank you. Please like and subscribe. Rum Dog says, proud I don't rock any of those shoe brands. Amen, brother. Why pay that much for junk? It's insane. It really is. All right. This is a crazy one. Kirsten Shaughnessy posts, hedge fund Cube discloses $105 million short position Trump media. They're shorting DJT. Guys from Credit Suisse, and we all know how that turned out, calling for Trump to do something about it. And I agree. Secretive hedge fund spun out of Credit Suisse in 2018 called Cube Research, led by former Credit Suisse colleagues Pierre Yves Morlat or PIM, blah, blah, blah. $105 million short on DJT. If they do anything on DJT, it's going to blow up. It's going to blow the crap up. And do you think Trump's really going to let his company just get destroyed this whole time? No, but it's a chess move, guys. He's building up to it. It'll come. It'll come. It's all about doing everything the right way in the right timing so that he can make it last. Because sometimes you can do a bunch of stuff, but if you don't do it the right way, it can't last. There's no foundation to it. They're doing their due diligence. It'll all work out. I feel more confident about that than ever. I spent a lot of time thinking and praying this weekend. And I came out of that time, I'm telling you guys, we are winning, and we're winning hard. And one of the ways you can tell that is because the media and the Democrats are getting angrier and angrier and angrier. The rest of the world is getting angrier and angrier. Why? Because we're winning. And soon we're going to win so big, it's going to change the dynamics completely. But we got to break them first. We got to completely break them. We won the war when we won the election. I just want you guys to know that. They know it. And now all they're trying to do is slow things down. And there's a faint hope that if they slow things down enough, maybe, just maybe, they'll get another shot at it. But the globalists lost the war on the election day. And now it's cleanup time. It's cleanup time and it's correction time. This is like the Marshall Plan after World War II. We're rebuilding, and it's ugly, but it's going to happen. Brett says, Devin Nunes documented everything on DJT. I don't know how the heck the hedge funds have enough cojones to keep showing it. They just don't think they can stop. It's crazy. It's crazy. What's up, Roger? Much love to the Ace community, he says. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Big JR says, these guys are going to get French fried sometime soon. See what you did there. I like it. I like it. Brett says, hello, silent viewers. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for that. And join if you want, because you get members lives Wednesdays, which can get spicy, and access to the Discord, which is going 24/7. Discord's been great lately. You know what I felt good about the Discord lately, members, is that even when I'm gone, you guys keep chatting. I love that. I love that. People are finding real community in the Discord, which is great. And that's the dream. It's just that everybody kind of can, find people to talk to, get along with, and process all this stuff. All right. Look at this. Buffett keeps getting cash, and now he has enough cash he's sitting on to buy 476 companies in the S&P 500. That's insane. Buffett is just parking his cash. You think he sees what's coming? I would say so. He's not the only one. Jamie Dimon just sold 133 and 600,000 shares of JP Morgan at an average price of $235. He always hits the top of the markets. Look at this. He timed it. It went down, down, back up, down, bounce back up, and he sells. Sells a third of his shares. How the heck did he know? Something's coming, folks. Something's coming. Buffett and him know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Roger asks, Ace, how do senior citizens access the Discord? Well, first you have to have Discord on your phone or on your computer, whatever you're using. And then I'll post a new fresh link on the YouTube channel in the chat, the posts where the members can read stuff. Just go to my channel. It'll pop up after this. And all you got to do is click that link. That's all you got to do. And it should take you right there. EI, welcome to the show. EI says, wish Trump would sign a presidential order to force trade settlement on all MMTLP shares short. Amen. I hope it comes eventually. I really do. Brett says, I wonder if Nancy sold some JPM stocks as well. You never know. Rum Dog, good night. Planted 6 trees today and I'm spent. Oh, well. Adam, you got a lot of good dreams going on there, but none of it's going to happen. Sorry. Robert, my son had a code blue a week ago during a CAT scan. Oh, my God. Robert. You know, I'm not a big believer in what we would call in the Christian circles the enemy having too much power over us. However, there are times when things ramp up. And it does seem like a lot of people are going through health issues right now. And it's just getting worse and worse. And a lot of people are being taken out. So I see that. And at the end of this, we're just going to pray breakthrough on all you guys. And we're just going to pray protection on all your families, because I'm just more and more people are writing in here. Just somebody died, somebody's turned out sick, all that. So we just want to break that off, because that tells me something's coming, because that seems to always be a trend when real craziness is about to come. So, so we're just going to pray against that, because that's no good. No good. All right. This is what you guys are talking about. Trading ban, right? In South Korea, 5-year trading ban if caught naked shorting or spoofing. And the U.S. does nothing. Korea will impose stricter sanctions, including a trading ban of up to 5 years on individuals, which would also, in my opinion, probably mean corporations, found to have engaged in illegal short selling and other unfair trading practices. We need this here so bad. 5-year ban on illegal short selling. And that's a misleading headline. It's if you're caught, you get a 5-year ban completely. Trading ban. So that's a lot different than a ban on illegal short selling. That's already there. Cassing says, Dan Bongino posted something interesting about arrest coming soon. I believe it. I think we're going to see something real soon. Oh, what's up, Robert? Your son watches? That's awesome, man. Tell him I said, hey, what's up? What's up, Robert's son? What's his name? Roger says, Kids Inc. Talking to Bongino. Yeah. Thomas, good to see you, brother. I saw you lingering in the chat. We're always thinking about you, man. How you feeling? How you feeling? All right. And if you guys, if you just need one more reminder of just what a miracle it is we got Trump, well, just remember we escaped this.
Oh no.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You think so in the content.
It isn't on television. Mike, look at her. No.
You had a lot of friends you that night, huh, Brett? One more time, because you deserve to be forced to remember what we avoided.
Oh.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You think so in the content.
It isn't on television. Mike, look at her. No.
Oh man. If any I don't see how anybody could call themselves a proud Democrat after running her as for president. That's got to be the biggest joke of a presidential candidate in history. She's so pathetic in so many ways. Oh man, it's amazing. We avoided that. Can you imagine? Oh, to imagine right now if we had Kamala, the press conferences, let alone, the socialism and the insane stuff that'd be going on in our country, how she'd be burning it to the ground. Just forget all that. Because that was a given. Just let's put in place the fact that like we'd have to see her every day. And it's unbelievable. Uncle Andy says she's the next governor of California. I don't think she will be. I really don't. I don't think she can. I think it'll probably be a Democrat, but I don't think she'll win. I don't think she can win anything. Andy, just I really don't. We'll see. We'll see if she even announces. There is a lot of talk out there that she's actually not going to do it because she didn't like campaigning. Imagine that. It's a lot harder than she thought it was going to be. She's so terrible. And behind the scenes, from what I'm hearing, a lot of Democrats are begging her not to run because they know that she sucks. So just FYI, it's just stuff I'm hearing that Kamala might not even run for California because she just things are that she's that toxic to the Democratic brand right now. So there you go. Hopefully that's good news for California. All right, guys, on that note, long show tonight. God bless you guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for being patient as I missed because of my back last night. I pray it doesn't act up again so I can make it through the rest of the week. If I'm feeling fine again, I will be on tomorrow and we'll get back to it. And, the one-stop place for your daily news fix. There was some other big news today I didn't cover. Trump had Bukele from El Salvador in today, and there's just some great stuff in that press conference. But I thought it was more important to do other things, talk about other stuff tonight. Cassink says Stephen A. running for president. He will. He won't get anywhere, though. He won't even win the primary. Brett says, until she answers for the billion she spent on presidential run, I don't think Kamala has a chance. Oh, exactly. They don't want to fund her again. The donors are pissed at her. The one, what it do? What's up, Lee? God bless you, man. Please like and share and subscribe before you leave. Maybe join if you want to. It's $3 a month for members' lives and Discord access. So I appreciate the support, members. You guys are the best. And let's do what we always do. Show the late rally in Los Angeles over the weekend. The old lady trying to sing. Brett, is that the Bernie one you're talking about? Let's see if I can find this real quick. Just for you, Brett. Just for you, because you work so hard. Adam, you have no idea what you're talking about. Do you even understand how our Constitution works? Adam's over here. He's trolling the chat, and I can spot a liberal a mile away, but thinks that the blue states will join Canada. I'm sorry to tell you, Adam, but even with Trump in charge and them all angry about it, they don't want to join your shit country. It would just ruin everything. And you know what? I have a lot of Canadians I love in this chat. Moody, Chris, you guys are great. So many others. We love you guys. But you guys know right now your country's really crappy. And nobody's joining over there. It's just the way it is. So, but you can dream, Adam. There's nothing wrong with dreaming, even though it's a very false dream. All right, let me see if I can find it here. Somebody share with me. This will be the last thing I share tonight for some laughs. All right, Brett, is this what you're talking about? Is this the one where he fought with the chicks? Oh, this is funny anyways. Let's watch. Let her talk or we shut it down.
Listen to her. Your event will be shut down right now. Right now. Your decision.
How do you run a party with this? Do you know? This is the thing. Democrats don't realize how stupid most Americans when this stuff happens. What's so stupid is these people are actually trying to be serious. Will support these
you on the mic. Okay. All right. So we are trying to be reasonable. We are trying to be reasonable.
We are trying to be reasonable.
We are trying. We're going to give you, we're going to let you on the mic. We are going to give you the mic. We will after Senator Sanders. After Senator Sanders.
I mean,
after Senator Sanders.
As long as this is happening, folks, we have nothing to worry about. The Democrats are destroying themselves. They are eating themselves alive.
After Senator.
So whenever you guys hear,
all right, all right.
Whenever you see the media going nuts on Trump and making it actually feel like
you are
losing
shutting it down. You are disrupting
just remember,
this event.
This is their party.
And you are disrupting this event. We will. No, you are shutting it down. We are shutting. We will shut it down. You are shutting it down.
They created their own self-destruction. It's like a woke left is like a cyanide pill in their bodies. Just eating them up.
That's your attitude that I have nothing to say.
There it is. That's the Democratic Party right now. Isn't that insane? That's insane. Mike says it's hilarious. Brett says I'm cracking up. This is so funny. It is funny. Johnny says, so glad to see this. Mike says eating their own. Birdbug, any idea what Bernie Sanders and AOC are talking about as they're touring California? I don't know. I don't know. Chicks with wieners. That's all they really have to talk about. That and socialism. Free college. I fell off his couch, Brett. Mark Maddox says Senator Kennedy expressed his opinion of AOC. Oh, I know. I heard what he said. He said she's the reason that what did he say? It was really funny. Coachella, yeah. Maybe you'll switch parties here. Isn't that appealing right there? Roger, everyone wants to speak because the leaders are not representing them. Right. Yeah, it's insane. Welcome to California. Listen, they can't. This is just, this is why they put direction on shampoo bottles. That's right. That was his line. That's so funny. Please like and subscribe, guys. I appreciate it. And there you are. Actually, I'm glad we ended on this. This is the best representation of why we're winning than anything else. They created a monster that they can't control. And it's just falling apart. Imagine being a serious person, a serious Democrat, who just, for whatever reason, you still can't come over to the right. You just hate Trump, but you do have good ideals. You're a decent person, but you still just haven't completely come over because your family's family was left, and you just can't imagine ditching, and you're scared to ditch, even though you'd like some of the ideas from Trump. And you see this, you go to see Bernie and AOC and you see this. You're getting a little bit closer to jumping on the other team, I tell you what, or just leaving and go Ted Kaczynskiing it somewhere out in the woods. Anyways, all right, love you guys. Let's end in a prayer as usual. Oh yeah, Bill Maher too. Gosh, there's so much that's going on. Bill Maher meeting Trump. I can't play that clip because every time I play a Maher clip, they cut me off. But Bill Maher met Trump this weekend and had only good things to say about his meeting. So it's worth watching. It's worth watching. This is your clips on your save list when you never go full retard. Brett, that's why we're friends. All right, guys, I got to go to bed. Let's pray and get out of here. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless, Lord, our leaders, and God bless this community. I thank you so much for what President Trump's doing. And I just pray, God, you continue to awaken people, help us see what's really going on so we don't lose heart. We stay encouraged and we keep fighting and until this is all done the way it needs to be. I pray that you continue to let anybody who hates America or doesn't want a good future, Lord, just continue to fall apart on their own, like we just saw. I just pray that it continues to fall apart. And God, that's just usually how it happens, right? The wicked eat their own. So I thank you for that. And I thank you for the exposure it shows. And I pray for everybody in our community, God, who knows people who are sick or are sick themselves or know people with addiction or struggling. We've just been seeing some losses and other people being hospitalized, stuff like that. So God, we just pray a hedge of protection over your people and especially in this community right now that I'm praying over, that God, you would just protect them and their families from any attacks physically, emotionally, financially, relationally. And God, help us all get through this season as strong as ever. And so coming out of it, we can prosper more than we ever have in a newer, better America that's and that we can leave to our kids and grandkids. So we thank you for that, Lord. It's always about the next generation. And so protect President Trump and his team, give them wisdom and boldness to continue doing what needs to be done. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Have a great night. And we'll see you later. Take care.